In the next lesson we will talk about changing the grip. As we saw in the video on the half staff, switching your hands to use a shortened or longer grip can be quite helpful. This is some additional material which is not directly mentioned by Wild. If you want to be more versatile with the staff, shortening the grip, switching the hands from left to right, using both staff ends equally to strike and thrust can be very helpful. Of course, we prefer the simple, straightforward method of Wild the most, but the following concepts can be useful in some situations. But you should not overuse it. So this is our interpretation on what Donald McBain wrote, and also Archibald MacGregor makes it quite plausible. And it is also basing on our practical experiences where it proved to be useful in combat. Of course, we know this concept also from many other staff fighting manuals and arts. So let's get into it. The first thing here is to shorten the grip extremely by sliding the long staff end back into your hands. This is a way to prevent your opponent to manipulate your staff and also a way to play with your distance, similar to what you can do with broadsword and smallsword by straightening and bending your sword arm. You can also use a shift or slip as footwork. You can set a trap with that, and when your opponent moves in, you counter with a thrust. Or you use it like a feint, and as soon as your opponent changes his guard, you thrust to his own outside. You can also use it as a counter against a push from your opponent, or to prevent a strike to your forearm with a slip. A nice variation, though a bit risky, is to use a traverse and a one-handed counter thrust. Very nice when it lands properly. Once you are comfortable with sliding your staff back and forth, you can change the grip and use the rear end to strike. This can come from surprising angles and get the opponent off guard. All these exercises are quite useful to switch from a long grip to half staff grip and use both ends to strike and thrust. Other staff traditions use both ends to parry attacks, but this is not really shown here for now. A partner drill you can do is that one side is moving only in the long grip, changing guards, so the other side can switch grips and play with distance and different attacks and counters. That way you can also train to switch from left to right-sided stance. As Joseph Swetnam recommended in his manual, that you should always mirror the stance of your opponent. But make sure to be safe because the back end strikes come quick and surprising, and even a minor looking strike with an oaken staff can hurt a lot and break finger bones, which luckily did not happen here. You can also do a simple solo drill with a cut 1 following with a butt strike, then changing to a cut number 2 in half staff grip, and then going back with a hanging guard and do a cut number 1. This you can combine with different attacks, thrusts, footwork, and hand positions.